Hi, everybody. So recently, Matt and I watched How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3, and I figured I would upload my commentary on PhantomStrider's video about book-based animated movies and share my revised top 10 list that includes the How to Train Your Dragon movies. We haven't watched the whole series yet, but based on what we have seen so far, I can definitely say that we definitely enjoyed these movies very much and would highly recommend them to anybody who wants to see them. So at number 10 in the top 10 book-based animated movies list, we picked 2018 How the Grinch Stole Christmas. PhantomStrider basically said that this movie was very serviceable, but it's not the best How the Grinch Stole Christmas adaptation, and the original version from the 1960s is much more on point with the Dr. Seuss book. He says that Benedict Cumberbatch's voice acting was very good, and I agree, but in this version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch is not an evil villain. He's more of like a grouchy next-door neighbor. Number 9 in our list is The Lorax. The Lorax is another Dr. Seuss adaptation that came out in 2012, which has Ed Helms, I think, playing the Lorax, and playing the Onceler. Zac Efron playing Ted, who is the kid who goes to talk to the Onceler about getting a tropical tree seed. Taylor Swift voices the girl who Ted has a crush on, and Danny DeVito voices the Lorax. I liked this movie. I watch it every year around Earth Day because I like its message about saving the planet. My favorite characters in the Lorax are the Lorax, Ted, and Grammy Norma, who was voiced by the late Betty White. The next movie in my list is Shrek 3. So I didn't like this Shrek sequel because it mostly focuses on Prince Charming trying to kill Shrek, and I didn't like Prince Charming. I didn't think he was a very believable villain because he was too whiny. And he's probably my least favorite Shrek villain. Then at number 7 is the Polar Express. Rewatch the Polar Express every Christmas, and we will be watching it next week, actually. I will be talking about this movie again in my Christmas movie review video, and I will be giving it a more thorough review in that video. The Polar Express was a movie that was not mentioned in PhantomStrider's video, but I feel he greatly overlooked it because I think it was a great adaptation of the Chris Van Allsburg Christmas Story, which I read every year as a child. At number 6, we have Shrek 2. Shrek 2 is one of my favorite Shrek sequels, because it focuses on Shrek and Fiona as a married couple and them going to meet Fiona's parents, who were voiced by Julie Andrews and John Cleese. And I would say I loved the fairy godmother villain in this movie, and I love how she has one of the best movie songs in all of animated films with Holding Out for a Hero. Originally, when I made this list, I had Fantastic Mr. Fox at number 5, but I had to replace it with How to Train Your Dragon 2. As PhantomStrider mentioned in his video, the world of How to Train Your Dragon films is very immersive, and you can definitely get lost in the fantasy world, like we certainly did watching these movies. I think my favorite characters in How to Train Your Dragon are Hiccup and Astrid, and also, probably Hiccup's mom too. Valka, what's her name? Did I say it correctly? Please leave a comment and let me know if I pronounced her name right, because I don't know if I got the pronunciation right. Coming in at number 4 on our list is Horton Hears a Who. Now, for those of you who know me, I'm big into musical theater, and I was in Seussical the Musical with the Amherst PTA in 2014. And Horton Hears a Who is the story that seems to be the primary focus of this musical, because it focuses on Horton's relationship with the Who's. And Jim Carrey was the voice of Horton in this movie, and he did a really great job playing Horton. He has been one of my favorite actors since he did the 2004 live-action Grinch movie, which we are watching sometime in the next couple of weeks. Yes, and I just love Horton's story and how he overcomes being bullied by the jungle creatures. And similarly, at number 3 is Shrek. So what I like the best about the Shrek movies and Shrek the musical is that Shrek and Fiona are like very misunderstood characters, and they're like the underdogs. Well, at least Shrek is. Fiona is a very non-conventional animated princess, and her character is meant to kind of like make fun of all the Disney princess characters, which I thought she did a very good job of doing. I've been in Shrek the Musical twice. Once in 2016 as Villager, Skeleton, and Moon in a Travel Song Scene, and once in 2022 at the Amato Center as Scarecrow in the Friends of the Amato Center production. And I would have to say that I definitely accomplished one of my dream roles by playing the Scarecrow. So, of course, that's why I picked Shrek as number 3. And I also talked about Shrek a little bit in my top 20 media that tackle serious issues list, because Shrek and Seussical both talk about bullying. I believe I ranked that as number 7 or 8 in my best media that tackle serious issues. Please go watch that video and weigh in on your thoughts about where you feel Shrek and Seussical should be placed, and I would be happy to update that list based on what you guys think. Number 2 for book-based animated movies is the latest Shrek sequel, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which came out last Christmas. I loved Puss in Boots: The Last Wish because it was action-packed. It kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time with figuring out who was going to get to the star first to get their wish granted. My favorite characters in this movie were Perito, the little Chihuahua dog, Kitty Softpaws, who was voiced by Salma Hayek, and Jack Horner, who was voiced by, what's his name again? John Mulaney. Yes. So, yes, this movie was very good, and if you have not watched it yet, please find it on streaming services. It's fantastic. And finally, so at number 1 is The Iron Giant, and I talked about this in my video about movies with Friends actors in them because Jennifer Aniston does the voice of Hogarth's mother. So if you want my full review of this movie, please go watch that video because I talk about it in that ranking list as well. And for honorable mentions, I have How to Train Your Dragon 3, Puss in Boots, and Shrek Forever After. And also Fantastic Mr. Fox. When PhantomStrider made his video and he talked about the Iron Giant, he talked a lot about Hogarth's relationship with the giant. And I agree with all of the commentary he said in regards to that, and also how his least favorite character was the government agent. But as I just said, if you want my opinions on the Iron Giant, please go watch the movie that I posted about movies with Friends actors in them and see where that movie falls in that ranking. So thank you for watching and have a great day.